to live and die of free will, what the Buddha taught. And because the bhikkhu has full faith, precepts, learning, benevolence and wisdom, it occurs to him, I hope with my cessation of all afflictions and supreme wisdom, I should here and now realize, attain and peacefully abide in the non-afflictive released mind. With his cessation of all afflictions and supreme wisdom, he here and now realizes, attain and peacefully abides in the released mind, the non-afflictive released wisdom. And because this bhikkhu shall not be born anywhere or in any place. The middle-length discourse of the Buddha, 120 Sankharuppapatti Sutta, Volume 3, Interpretation. Sankharuppapatti Sutta is part of the scriptures in which the Buddha considered his method's sturdy position as peaceful a vision in the present released mind and non-afflictive released wisdom. The purpose of release is practicing up to the non-afflictive mind with which one will be nowhere to be reincarnated. As a result, is definitely stated by Buddhism that there would be no place of transmigration for a practitioner upon his attaining this goal. The part of the scriptures determines that Buddhism is to get out of transmigrational world. This bhikkhu shall not be born anywhere or in any place. Therefore, the nirvana, highest joy and Buddha's nature were not where the noble one belonged. The Buddha has brought up in his Sankharuppapatti Sutta the world of being regality along with 33 worlds of being deity, but none of which, however, he referred to as his destination. Where the Buddha came is only non-afflictive mind which is void of death. I hope with my cessation of all afflictions. On account of that, the illusory worlds created in the great vehicle, Mahayana, scriptures are not where the Buddha came. Buddhist monks have no wish for being in the highest joy, nirvana, realizing Buddha's nature or returning to the true ever-being's natural essence. 1. So what is non-afflictive mind? Non-afflictive mind is the mind without sorrow, trouble, worry, fear, irritation, crying. Being free of evils and sensations. Non-afflictive mind is what never leads one into making either oneself or the others miserable, is in which afflictive sensational desires, 2. Afflictive being and afflictive ignorance do not exist. Practices in Buddhism are undoubtedly aimed at the cessation of all afflictions, bringing the easiness, peacefulness and untroubledness to our mind-body. The release entails purifying one's afflictive mind, and his practice is deemed finished once it is purified, not to wait until he realizes the Buddha's nature or is reborn in any world or enter the natural essence of every beings. Dear readers, all the Buddhahoods created in the great vehicle, Mahayana, scriptures so far are unreal, vague, illusory and abstract worlds misleading us, whereas the purpose of Buddhism is apparent and definite. We would like to reaffirm it resolutely for the sake of your realistic practice and for your not vaguely understanding and not dreaming on this or that imaginative world. Dear readers, do you know what non-afflictive mind is? You with non-afflictive mind feel calm, unresentful, unirritated when being disparaged, ill-spoken of, cursed, execrated and bad-mouthed. You with non-afflictive mind do not hate anybody or get frightened and nervous, always live in easiness, peacefulness, without any hindrance in mind. You with non-afflictive mind never crave for any eye-catching or precious object or any appetizing and tasty food. You stay unattracted. You with non-afflictive mind are not affected by languor, drowsiness, sleepiness, and whenever you want to stay awake, you are clearly conscious. You with non-afflictive mind are unworried and unfrightened by all the evils and sensations. You keep easy, peaceful and untroubled facing what comes to disturb your mind. You will, Thus, finish the practice upon having your mind characterized as the foregoing. It means the truth penetrates you. In case of not attaining it yet, be persistent in using release-oriented conscious suggestion to make your mind unaffected, that is, you are practicing and living up to the truth. Therefore, you can clearly know whether or not your own practice is accomplished. The non-afflictive mind is in which you peacefully abide when alive as well as after death. By contrast, we should not abide in afflictive mind because of its sea of troubles it may cause. So keep practicing in order not to abide in afflictive mind. In sum, practicing to make the truth penetrate, to banish afflictions from your mind is not so hard based on the right methods. Affliction-free mind was the Buddha's peaceful vision. Please pay attention to this teaching.